HCR 90.3 FM.
The loudest party in the whole universe.
The voice of Harlem.
This is Jon Haggins, our travel people. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing fantastic. I've got great news for you today.
What's that?
Trinidad and Tobago. What an incredible difference it's made in 45 years. I was there 45 years ago, and now it's grown. You know, Trinidad is the capital, Port of Spain is the capital of all of its industry. But Tobago is so relaxing. It's so special with their Crayola-colored buildings and beaches, and you just feel so relaxed. And the food is sensational.
No kidding. Where is Trinidad and Tobago? I know that sounds stupid, but where is it exactly?
It's 7 miles north of Venezuela, South America. So
Okay.
It's really right off the coast. It's the furthest island south, furthest south or southern Caribbean island. And
Okay.
it's just amazing. I mean, I was just absolutely blown away by how it has improved over the years, and how they have nightlife, they have everything that you want there, between relaxing on the beach and snorkeling and scuba diving and fishing. I mean, there's just so much to do there.
How did you get there?
Actually, I took, JetBlue, and it was a direct flight right into Port of Spain.
Mm-hmm.
And then I flew over, which was 25 minutes or less, over to Tobago. It's a real short flight, or you can take a ferry. And the ferry is only like $15 round trip or something like that. So It's very inexpensive, but it takes about 2 hours by ferry. And it's just unbelievable. I mean, the difference of how it's grown, and also the history. Not only did we have a culinary experience, but we went through the history. And, for instance, in the Paramin mountainous region, that was given to the free coloreds because they thought it was undesirable land. And meanwhile, they made it very prosperous in terms of farming. So they're great farmers up there who produce all kinds of herbs and spices. And, of course, the Caribbean has wonderful spices. And it's just unbelievable. The people are so fantastic, too. And I always say people make a difference when you're traveling.
That is, it's funny because when I say that, I guess that's not the right adjective, but just it's so interesting how you can be sitting here 1 minute and the next thing you know, just from a plane ride and what have you, you're sitting in a whole nother world.
That's a very good word, by the way, medicinal. Because it really is like medicine, being able to. And what I find so amazing when I come back to the city and I get on my bike and I start riding, I'm thinking, wait a second, I was just away. What is this all about? Where am I?
Yeah. But what a life you must lead, because traveling is something that I've always thought is just so wonderful. And the only reason being that I think it's so wonderful is that when you return, you have a sense of saying to oneself, how important am I? I mean, we realize that we're all human and that we're all individuals who occupy this earth. But when we get to travel, we find out how many other millions and trillions of people occupy this earth.
Oh, absolutely, with their different cultures, their different cuisine.
Yes.
And what is so marvelous is it's such a great education.
Yes.
We had, for instance, I love this, on the beach, they prepared lobster and shrimp and all kinds of local dishes. So you got off the boat and you walked along the beach and you had all of these wonderful things. And then they had night markets where you had doubles, these sandwiches that were just, And so you have the local taste, and you also have the upscale restaurants as well. So you have, so you can really experience all of it. And they talk about Caribbean fusion. And I said, what's that? And, the island is built up of Asians, Europeans, Africans, and American Indians, I call them. Mm-hmm. But anyway, it's just a combination of people. So the food is also influenced by all the people that come there.
Tell me something, because everywhere you go, you see a Starbucks. Is a Starbucks there?
I saw McDonald's or chicken. What was it? Chicken Delight. What do they call that? The Colonel, whatever he's called.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But
KFC.
Anyway, I did see that in Tobago. I'm sorry, in Trinidad. I didn't see it in Tobago. But meanwhile, there are not as many of those. You have a lot of, mom and pop restaurants. who are preparing all these wonderful national dishes in their Victorian homes, which are Crayola colored, I call them. Because of all these wonderful colors. You feel like you're in school painting a picture with colors, or the Crayolas. And it's just such a refreshing experience. And the sun beams all day long.
I was going to ask you about the weather. I mean, did you have great weather?
Had fabulous weather, unbelievable.
Is it known to have great weather?
So you know that it was wonderful weather. And swimming and snorkeling was just fabulous. They also have the nylon beach, which I thought we were going to nylon pool rather, and I thought we were going to a pool. Instead, it's a shallow part of the sea where you can literally walk, and the water's up to your waist. And they say the sand, if you take the sand and rub it on your body, you gain 5 years, or you lose 5 years on your life. And I thought, well, let me just rub it twice because maybe I'll lose 10.
Yeah, hey, bring some of that home.
Exactly. Didn't do a thing for me, though.
Oh, you never know. We'll just wait and see.
Exactly.
We'll just wait and see. Well, what kind of language do they speak there?
Oh, English.
Everything
Actually,
is in...
because they were occupied by the British.
Uh-huh.
So one doesn't have to worry about the language. You have to get used to their way. They say, for instance, tree instead of, they don't have the TH. You have to get used to the way that they talk.
Pronunciation, yeah.
Yeah. But meanwhile, it's English, and we've had some wonderful guides and very, enthusiastic about their country and sharing it. And that made a whole difference. And they also have not only the small hotels, which are very homey and wonderful, but they have these large, like Hyatts and all of these other hotels.
I was going to ask you that. How modernized are they?
Oh, very, very. As a matter of fact, we stayed at the Hyatt, and they have an infinity pool overlooking the sea, which is fantastic. We had incredible sushi. You wouldn't think of sushi being down in the Caribbean, but however, because of the Asian influence, they have that, and they have, all of the other dishes. Oh, what I was most impressed with was the shark at Frank's. That was unbelievable. It was a shark sandwich, and I'd never had that before. And then you put all the condiments with it, and it's a huge sandwich. And this is what you have out on the beach. It is just unbelievable.
So you eat shark meat?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And the way they prepare it is just, and they bake their own bread. So it's just all so fresh and wonderful, and you feel like, oh, I was really impressed by that particular dish.
Well, I don't think I've ever been to Trinidad.
Oh, you have to go.
It's just one of those kinds of things. Is it expensive to go there?
I don't know, quite honestly, how expensive it is, but I think there are bargains. Checking with the Internet, you can find airline bargains, you can find hotel bargains. It depends on what kind of budget you have, as to whether you want to stay in a small bed and breakfast or want to stay in a commercial hotel. That all depends on your budget.
Yes.
And so I can't really...
So they have bed and breakfasts and...
They have bed and breakfast. They have small hotels. They have big commercial hotels, which they actually gear for the leisure travel as well as for the business traveler. So therefore, there's just lots of options there and lots of things to see. They also have experiences where you can go to Fanatic Kitchen and you can learn how to prepare these great dishes that they do there, and you can also taste various things so that what you sort of decide what's in the product. They have also a mixologist who teaches you how to make these wonderful drinks like rum punch, which is, one of the typical drinks there.
Right. That's great. Well, if somebody was to have a souvenir, what would they bring back from there?
Some rum.
Oh, okay. All right.
From Angostura, which is a factory there, and they produce some of the best rum, and they have a great store where you can buy all of this stuff. And I think, having some of their product would be really a great treasure to bring back.
Oh, that sounds so wonderful. So how long did you stay?
I was there for a week, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
And they also have green markets, so you can go and have fresh produce that is naturally grown, and therefore you don't have the additives and all those other things that we people have here in the city. But, I was in one of the restaurants, and I had papaya, and then I said, I got to have more. And someone says, aren't you going to share? I said, no way. Finally, for the third helping, the owner of the restaurant brought out the papaya and said, now you slice it. He's had it.
Oh, that's funny.
But it's so
Well,
different
papaya is
from.
supposed to be so good for you.
Well, not only that, it's so fresh there, and it's right off the bush, so it's not, the hothouse thing that we have here. So
Hmm.
obviously you have the pure taste, and, it's not something we're used to here. So that was very, very special.
Oh boy, that sounds like so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
And that with the papaya, with the sun, with the rum on the side,
Oh,
and all the shark meat to eat. I
oh my
mean, what are
God.
you gonna do?
And
Sounds like
also you
fun to
have
me.
jerk, you have that wonderful jerk meat,
Hmm.
which is typical of the islands as well. And you have so many different dishes that are just so spectacular. And so many restaurants. And that's what's so great, too. As I said, you have the high-end restaurants and you have the mom-and-pop restaurants and you have some local little stop by, like a man with his
Well,
coconut
somebody
selling.
got tired of the beach and they didn't have. Was there anything else to do?
Besides the beach and swimming,
Yeah.
yeah, there's learning about the history of the islands. Going, for instance, to the cocoa plantation and learning about how they produce the cocoa and how it's processed. And, being out of one of those estates is one thing, or you can go to a museum and learn about the history, or go up to Fort George, which is also an incredible point. It's where they had the invasion of the British. And so, anyway, those are the kind of things that make a big difference.
Well, it sounds good to me, John. It sounds like you had a wonderful time.
I
How,
had a
how
wonderful
long?
time, and I think more people should go and explore the islands. They're having the Caribbean, what do you call, week, as a matter of fact. I believe it's this week. As a matter of fact, tomorrow is the Caribbean celebration. They're going to be all the people from the Caribbean here, and they are going to be doing all kinds of wonderful things and introducing people to other islands, because there are about 40 Caribbean islands
Oh, they're
altogether.
gonna have that here.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, where's that gonna be?
that's at the let's see, the 34th Street. Is it New Yorker Hotel? I think
Okay, all right.
it's called the Wyndham New Yorker Hotel on
Uh
34th
huh.
Street, and it's for the industry, and it's really fantastic. Again, meeting all those people again, and then sampling their rum punch, and it's just kind of a real get together. And by the way, did you know that the Circle Line is having its 70th anniversary
No, I didn't.
here in New York, so people can go and celebrate its 70th anniversary, which I think is really
When is
fantastic.
that gonna be?
That's all of the 19th of the month. That's coming up, and it's just a big celebration.
Okay.
And they can see New York from the perimeter, from the exterior, Manhattan. And I think it's a wonderful thing to just go around. It's like a vacation.
Yeah, my grandson, he's crazy about Circle Line.
Oh yeah,
I mean, he could get on there. You could go around and around. And his father was a great Circle Line person. And the both of them, they're like crazy. They just get on the boat and go around and around and around. And you would think every time was the first time. You know,
exactly.
they
It's a
love it. They
wonderful
love it.
experience.
Yeah.
And, there's so many things not only to do here in New York, but, it's also wonderful to get out of New York and to experience other cultures, as I was saying earlier, because there's so much to learn from other people.
Well, listen, John, you certainly know how to tell it and how to do it. So we'll be talking to you soon again.
Oh, yeah. By the way, there's a wonderful, this is one thing I want to add, that Chin Man, his name is Anthony Chen, he is one of the world's top wood sculptors in Trinidad, and he has a wonderful gallery there of all these wood carvings that people can also bring back. They're just pieces of art that you want to put in your gallery because they're just absolutely incredible. And he's such a talented guy, and he's a real Rasta man.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
So,
right. Well, John, thank you so much for that.
oh, no problem. We'll talk soon.